Everybody, welcome to week 8, and what a fantastic time of the year spring is. Out tonight for a run, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. We've got a sheep behind. This local area is just amazing to see the changing seasons. We've got some lambs that have just come in around here. They're not in this field, they're in a field just down there, but the lambs are in, the daffodils are out, the sun is setting, and it's just an amazing time for me to reflect. The main goal for me in this training block was to get through the first half, the base building phase, unscathed and without injury, which is what I've done. So for those thinking that my mileage has not been astronomical, you're quite right, it hasn't, but I've been being careful to make sure I get to this stage before I start to work towards that peak. It's in the peak stages that I'm going to make the most gains, but it's in the base building stages that I get myself prepared for what's to come. So I want to talk to you about this week, how it's gone so far. I went out for a 5:30 run on Tuesday. I didn't film it because it's in the dark. I mean, you let me know if you want those dark footage runs, but for me personally, I don't think it adds a huge amount of value. The information's here on Strava for the overlay if you want to see that. And then Wednesday night was my best run I've done in the block. It was an impromptu session which turned into a speed session. Impromptu in the sense that I was either going to go out Wednesday morning or Wednesday evening. I chose the evening and it paid dividends for me. The pace was, I think, electric. I was under 5 minutes per kilometre for some of my splits, and that is, in my mind, a fast session because I've not felt that in the legs for quite a while, and added to that was the fact that I just felt so comfortable with it. For me, the speed doesn't always come easy. I'm not that kind of person, and I've never really been ambitious enough to really chase down speed for a prolonged period of time. So when I see those kind of splits and I feel in my body that the legs are great and I'm not panting and puffing and sweating all over the place, it's a real reassuring comfort to know that I'm in a really quite a strong position, all things considered. I took a rest day on Thursday to run tonight, which is Friday, and again I'm out. And after kilometre 2, I had a quick look down my watch, 4:50 per kilometre. Pretty amazing. I gave myself a little pat on the back. I was really thrilled with what I saw there. And as I start to progress through this session, the speed remains. You know, I feel really good about it. So heading into the weekend, this week's actually a cutback week on my plan, but as I've not been doing too much to really damage the body, I'm deciding to keep it pretty consistent week in, week out. So I'm going to do a long run of some worth with a Saturday session, in keeping with the previous weeks. So as I continue to motor forward now on this run, I'll catch up with you tomorrow and share the progress I make there. I've got a smile on my face because I feel really good in myself, mentally, physically, emotionally, all those things. I feel good. So please sit with me for the rest of this video and see what I get up to at the weekend. Welcome to the long run. I've got about 3 hours on the cards today. Look at this. Into the sunrise. Into the sunrise. You cannot beat it. This is what running's all about. It's a bit windy up here, as you can probably tell, but to get up here before the world wakes up and see this is just phenomenal. Still up. Oh, such bliss. As I descend this hill, I just want to share something with you. When you get views like this, don't stop your watch. Don't worry about those strangers on Strava thinking that your splits have slowed. Don't worry about the fact that if you do stop your watch, people are going to compare between your lapse time and the actual time. Just be you. Get out and run. Who cares? Who cares if my splits today are slightly slower at the top of a picturesque viewpoint? No one else is here but me. This is my opportunity to enjoy the environment. This is not about ticking a box for somebody who I don't know that well. Even if I do know you that well, the chances are I'll turn around and say, I'll swap that for the fastest split I can ever do, because that view does not come around very often. Watching the sunrise in my local area is something very, very special, and as the year starts to progress, as we move towards summer, it's those little moments that you really treasure. Head torch away, cap out, and now it's time to really hit the road. Full visibility, things are great. So roughly hour and a half out, hour and a half back. We've got window today of 3 hours. A little bit more time actually, but I'm just trying to keep to consistent 3 hours on the legs, build that up. I'm feeling very comfortable at the moment with how things are going. That could mean that I'm perhaps under training, but at the same time I'm focusing on mental game as well, feeling strong, feeling fit, feeling confident, most of all feeling happy and feeling content in myself. You might have also noticed a different vest today. This is the naked vest, the same people who make the naked band that I've been using for 2.5, maybe 3 years now. And I'll talk more about this vest in a different video, but thing to mention is if you're looking thinking, oh, there's a lot of bounce there, I've seen the same thing in other videos and I thought the same thing. When you're wearing it though, similar to a naked band, you don't really realise it's on. The bottles are moving with my body, everything's moving as one, so I'm not feeling the same sensation I feel in a normal running vest where the bottles are kind of slamming about, or you know, you drink a bit then one gets a bit looser and it kind of starts hitting you in the chest. None of that, it's all moving together. Normally I run across the top of this hill, but today I'm at the bottom of the hill because when I get to the end I do a sharp left and run straight up. Elevation at the moment it's about 270, so happy with that. And yeah, it's quite a fresh day out. When I left the house it was about 2 degrees. It won't be too much warmer now, but at the end of the run it may well be. This is the hill. Just ticked over 300 metres of elevation. So when I get to turnaround point I'm running about the same way. There's I think a few more descents than there are ascents. So total elevation probably won't be 600, but nevertheless there's a few climbs in there that are going to test me for sure. I'm also going to put in a big hill climb I've done for the last few weeks at the start of my run. I'm going to put it at the end, so again things like that just knock the average pace completely out of whack because it's going to take me a while to climb it. But this sort of work right now, you know, 2 extra kilometres along by the river versus 50-60 metres elevation climb. Take the elevation. I could have today gone out, done 22-24 miles on the river, and maybe that would have looked amazing online and people would have said well done, great distance. But this is the training I actually need. Being tired, climbing hills, powering forwards, and on the day this is going to help me a lot more than a riverside run with 2 metres elevation. Whew. This here is a pretty cool little sculpture. And look at the view. Sit on this bench, look out over the horizon. I don't think you can see through these trees, but there's a burning orange sun coming through. I'm going to try and get to a better viewpoint to show you. It's just so much fun this morning, so much fun. Can you see it? Just there coming through. This forest is so dense along the right hand side, it's really hard to find a clear shot of it, but I'm just running towards it in all really. Nearly at the turnaround point. It's 380 elevation. Really pleased with that, really pleased. This is a cool little sign to mark the turnaround point because up that way, as you can see here, the Fox Way, that was my first ultra race. Down that way, the North Downs Way, my second ultra race. And over this way, back home, that in itself is an ultra. Oh, living my life. Whew. I'll catch you at the top of St Martha's. Let's see what the sun looks like about 45 minutes on from earlier. I wish I caught that on film. Stacked it, thankfully, into here. This little guy. Oh, it was a slow fall as well, one of those, you can save it, you can save it, you can save it. No, you're on your back. Well, there we go. Never done that before. Like I said, I wish I caught it on film. I'm alright. Okay, we're back up here. There's the sun, there's the view. This sandy section I would have been running, but I kind of just walked and just licked my wounds a little bit. That was quite a bit of a fall in the end, because I didn't realise it was a bit windy. I sort of stood up and felt a bit woozy, so I think probably because I fell on my back. Anyway, we've now got some downhills. I say you're not joining me, I am. I've now got some downhills to do, and then I might even meet my family into this run, so that'd be really pretty cool. Anyway, let's do some running. I won't do it today, but here's another local landmark. To get to it, you've got to go up a steep sandbank up there. It's called St Catherine's on the Hill. I'll try and find a video, there's a race video where I had to loop that. I did 20 miles looping up and down that along the river. I'll link it above if I can. It's an old video, old school down runs, probably filmed on a potato, but that's how I used to film my vlogs. This is it, this is the hill, the one that I've done before at the start of runs, and I'm now doing it towards the end. I'm actually going to meet my family. I mentioned that briefly as well. They're going to see me at the cathedral, they're out for a nice morning walk, so that's the thing as well about this whole experience, 50 miler. It's so different to last year with a family, trying to fit it all in with a full-time job, trying to be a good dad, a good partner, a good individual at work, you know, all of those things. It is hard, it's been a lot more difficult this time around, and I took for granted last time how much freedom I had just to go out for hours at a time. So when I get to the end of this journey and I achieve what I achieve, it will be with that balance, and yeah, there's 24 hours in a day, and I could go out early, I could go out late. As you know, I've tried that, and the results were not favourable. I'll do an overlay now of the final distance for my run with elevation, and I really look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, it's one hell of a ride, right?